Just back off that tractor trailer, okay? You're way too close.
There was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi.
Why would 2 separate police officers from 2 separate counties in BFE, Georgia, both happen to end up harassing this super nice guy driving this super nice vehicle, who incidentally is transporting his super adorable monkey?
Just back off that tractor trailer, okay? You're way too close. South 111 with a black Ford Expedition.
It's basically a real-life Smokey and the Bandit, except he was transporting a monkey instead of beer, and he pulled over instead of running. But the cops are just as bad, or maybe even worse.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey in a dog cage.
Where are you taking that monkey? I was just out of curiosity. You ain't in no trouble. Well, I got you on camera right on the bumper of that car. Okay, but I was gonna give you a warning, but if you want, I got on camera that you were right too close. You got to give at least a couple of car lengths. You were less than a car length off the back of that tractor trailer. So citation for your traffic offense. You can take care of it online or through the mail, or you can come to court on November the 19th. You be careful for me, okay? But you have a great day.
You need to be at least 6.5 car lengths behind that vehicle to be in compliance with Georgia law. So you were following too closely.
This was 5 minutes ago, and that's a BS ticket.
Okay. Well, I didn't write this, so don't take
I know, but that's
fine.
I mean, y'all are doing some crazy police tactics.
See, there you go with y'all again. I'm not Dooley County Sheriff's Office. I'm Turner County Sheriff's Office, okay? Yeah, Stephen stopped him in Dooley and wrote him for following too close.
And then what were the chances that their attempts at both harassing this super nice guy would end up exposing each other and themselves as corrupt, crooked, lying?
There was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi.
Police officers who are unworthy to enforce the laws of the state of Georgia, who are just waiting on the side of the road there to harass you and just see if you have any cash in your vehicle that they can seize.
That's an attention getter.
Or maybe monkeys that they can seize. So why did they stop? Why did they harass this particular super nice guy? I actually have an opinion on that I think is the truth. But first, let me show you how this went down and expose the lies that these officers told. So here's what happened. This past October, after the hurricanes hit the southern Appalachian region so hard, Ray, who has a YouTube channel, Thabo and Ray, Thabo being the monkey, Ray being himself, were traveling southbound on I-75 headed towards Florida and away from the destruction left by the hurricane. Of course, he's bringing his monkey with him. Unfortunately, he had to drive through the rural county in Georgia called Dooley County, Georgia. I'm sure the American Revolutionary War veteran, whom the county is named after, would be proud of what it's become. Lying in wait on that interstate was Lieutenant Stephen Peavy of the Dooley County Sheriff's Office. Now guess who the sheriff is in that very county of 11,000 something people? The father of Lieutenant Stephen Peavy. Craig Peavy is the sheriff of that county. Do you think this guy is held accountable much? He ends up pulling Ray over, allegedly, for following too closely to a tractor trailer. But this never happened. What really happened, you can see, is that he pulls up along Ray's vehicle and he's looking inside. What does he see that concerns him as an officer of the law? What is suspicious to him? Is it Ray? Is it his car? Can he see the monkey?
South 111 with a black Ford Expedition. Florida, David Zulu Whiskey, Zulu 0.
As you can see with your own eyes, whoever was driving this police car did not observe any traffic violations, and Ray immediately pulls over to a safe and appropriate location, and the traffic stop begins. Did you see that? Did you see what Officer Peavy did? He put his fingerprint on Ray's vehicle as he's approaching the passenger side. This is how you know you're dealing with an Officer Tackleberry type. Us versus them. Thin blue line. He's leaving his fingerprint evidence behind just in case this dangerous member of the community just decides to kill him. And that way the thin blue line can avenge his death. Anyways, it just goes towards this guy's mindset.
How's it going? Just back off that tractor trailer, okay? You're way too close. You got your license on you?
He claimed that Ray was following too close to the tractor trailer. If we rewind his own footage, we can see with our own eyes that was a lie.
Just back off that tractor trailer, okay? You're way too close. You got your license on you?
In fact, his own footage shows that he was stopped for some other reason. Police officers are not constitutionally allowed to pull you over, detain you just based on some hunch that they have. And these interstate cops are the absolute worst. They run a scam. They think you might have cash, drugs, guns, anything that they can seize and post on their Facebook.
If you're going 100 miles an hour, there's cops for that. It ain't me. The guy I'm looking for is the guy that's going to be going 76 into 75 and slows down to 65 when he sees me. Now we're dealing with somebody who just reacted. Yeah. So it's all behavior stuff, man, and that's what we do out here. Oh my God. Is your wife? Oh, okay. And who's that? Your mom? Oh, okay. Do you have anything in your vehicle that you're not supposed to have? Do you have any marijuana in the vehicle? Any cocaine? Any heroin? And that's black or brown. Any THC oil, THC wax, vapes, anything of that nature. Any types of methamphetamine, being crystal or liquid. Any pills that aren't prescribed to you. Any hallucinogens, being THC oil, THC wax, anything like that. Do you have any large sums of money over $10,000? Do you have any types of anything illegal? Has anybody asked you to carry anything in your vehicle? And are you the only person that's driven this vehicle for the last 48 hours? Would you allow me to search your vehicle? So I'm gonna have a canine come out and do a walk around your vehicle. That way it'll go quicker. I have some reasons to believe that there might be something in your vehicle. And the reason I'm not trying to freak you out. So what I hate about police, as funny as that sounds, I hate when cops use what's called smoke and lasers. I hate when dudes like dance around. So what I do is I talk to people and I do behavioral analysis type stuff.
We can see with his own footage that he somehow picked out this SUV with this driver, and he drives right next to it and he's looking. What was it? Well, we can't see inside his mind.
And I've been wrong before, but there's just some things I'm seeing that makes me want to go a little further with the investigation, okay?
Goodness, how many dogs you got? You got a dog?
I have a monkey.
Oh man, where are you coming from?
North Carolina.
Okay, where are you taking that monkey?
Florida.
You taking it for somebody?
I'm sorry?
You taking it for somebody?
I'm just kind of anything to help you outside the scope of the stop. I'm just going to stick to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions with that?
I was just out of curiosity. You ain't in no trouble.
Okay.
Unless you're doing something illegal.
No, I'm just anything outside the scope of the stop. That's the only thing I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's part of the scope of the stop, though.
I don't believe that I was too close.
Okay.
Like I said, predictably, Officer Peavy is going to be one of those tackleberry cops. He's going to ask you questions that are unrelated to any traffic violation. He's on a fishing expedition. He's looking for validation for whatever unconstitutional hunch he has. Now, when cops do this, there's generally no requirement to answer police officer questions during a traffic stop beyond basic identification and related documentation, driver's license, identification, insurance, things like that. Generally, officers are allowed to ask you unrelated questions like, where are you going? Where'd you get that monkey? How long have you had it? And so on. The main limitation on that is that they cannot prolong or extend the duration of the stop in so doing, unless they have some other reasonable suspicion that some other crime other than the reason for the stop has occurred. For instance, they smell marijuana, or they asked you if you had weapons and you said yes. They have lots of tricks that they use. The important thing is that you have the right to remain silent. But in the context here of a traffic stop where you're not under arrest, you generally have to verbalize, you have to actually voice your choice to remain silent, which Ray did here. That is his right to do, and that, according to our federal courts, is what he is supposed to do, to exercise his constitutional rights. The problem is, however, that these tackleberry-type cops, they hate your constitutional rights. They are authoritarians, and when you do what you are allowed to do, now they're out to get you.
Well, I got you on camera right on the bumper of that car.
Right.
Okay, but I was gonna give you a warning, but if you want, okay. Well, I don't care what you believe.
Right.
I got on camera that you were right too close. You got to give at least a couple of car lengths. You were less than a car length off the back of that tractor trailer.
Okay, well,
Okay.
I respect your opinion, but I disagree.
Okay, it's not my opinion. It's a fact.
All right, well, I
Okay.
disagree.
Okay. Well, hang tight for me, okay? All right. Your license isn't legible.
Sorry?
Your license is.
That's the license that I have. It's valid.
Okay. All right. Hang tight for me.
Now they're going to ramp up their fishing expedition. Here we can see that Officer Peavy walks back to his police car, and then he gets on the phone
Hey, question.
and mutes the audio on his body cam. So we cannot hear the conversation, which I think is about 3 minutes long, that I'm fast forwarding. We can't hear what's being discussed. Is he trying to get an opinion on whether he can arrest the guy over having a monkey in his car? Is he calling ahead to the next county? Is he doing both? We don't know, because he destroyed the evidence by muting his body cam. And if they can't get you, maybe they just send you on your way, call their buddy up the road, and now he's going to get you. And if they're not successful, at least they've delayed you, they've harassed you, they've taught you a lesson about respecting their authority.
All right, sir. So citation for your traffic offense. You can take care of it online or through the mail, or you can go online, or you can come to court on November the 19th, okay? You be careful for me, okay? But you have a great day.
So we actually ended up giving him a ticket, a citation for the violation of allegedly following too closely. But didn't we hear Officer Peavy say that he was going to give him a warning?
But I was going to give you a warning, but if you want...
I was going to give you a warning. Because you invoked your constitutional rights, I am now going to make things worse for you because you did so.
But I was going to give you a warning, but if you want...
I think what we have here is a case of First Amendment retaliation, not just for this citation, but for what we know had to have happened behind the scenes. Also, part of the retaliation is that he calls his buddy or buddies down the road, further down the interstate, and gives them a heads up that he's coming that way. And who knows what was said? Something about him, something about his monkey. When he reaches the next guy, we see the officer under the interstate waiting for him. As soon as he sees him, turns on his lights and begins to perform another traffic stop. Now, this is Police Officer Lieutenant Justin Partain from the Turner County, Georgia Sheriff's Office, who we can see was under the bridge waiting for Ray to arrive. He was aware that his buddy Stephen, the son of the sheriff of Dooley County, had just pulled him over for following too closely.
Yeah, Stephen stopped him in Dooley and wrote him for following too close.
And so, almost like trolling Ray, pulls him over for the exact same thing.
How about it, man? You get your license, would you?
Why was I pulled over?
I'm going to explain it to you. I get your driver's license.
Okay.
Mr. Feast, is it Feast or Face? How you say that?
Please, I was just pulled over for a BS ticket literally
What's that? Let me
5
see.
seconds ago.
What'd you get a ticket for?
Y'all are out here doing, you know.
Whoa. Nah,
No,
I can't
this
be
is
held
ridiculous.
accountable.
This was 5 minutes ago, and that's a BS ticket.
Okay. Well, I didn't write this, so don't take it out on me now.
I'm not taking it out on you,
Okay.
but y'all are doing some crazy
Well,
police
you, see, there you go with y'all again. I'm not Dooley County Sheriff's Office. I'm Turner County Sheriff's Office, okay? Yeah, Stephen stopped him in Dooley and wrote him for following too close.
Okay.
I'm Lieutenant Partain. I'm with the Sheriff's Office of Turner County. The reason I'm stopping you is following too close.
Even though the video evidence shows that not only was he not behind the semi he was allegedly following too closely, he wasn't even in the same lane.
You were following that semi too close that you were
There was
behind.
no one in front of me. This
There was
literally,
some.
I'm literally thinking of this as I'm driving. I was driving. There's 2 cars. You guys are parked right there. The police officers. I move over and follow the move over law.
Right.
There's me not following anyone too
Okay,
close.
there was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi. There was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi.
I mean, it's so absurd. It's like they want Ray to know that they're just messing with him, that they can do whatever they want to him, that all they have to do is say he was following too closely behind a semi, and they can detain him, They can harass him. Who knows what else they can do?
You're in a 70-mile-an-hour zone running 67 mile an hour, so you need to be at least 6.5 car lengths behind that vehicle to be in compliance with Georgia law. Okay, so you were following too closely.
Okay, so you didn't even
Yes, I did.
Witness it yourself.
Yes, I did.
You were parked up here.
I did. Yes, I was. I was parked under the bridge right there, and there was a semi in front of you, a yellow cab semi.
So they didn't initiate a stop. He was just following behind coincidentally.
He was going south to come where I was. I seen you following a semi too close. See, look. See that silver car? Now see that truck behind him?
Yeah.
See, they're following too close. Let me point out another one to you, and I'll show you. Do you have your registration card, or is this
it's a rental?
You got your rental agreement with you?
I could probably look it up on the phone.
Is that a monkey?
Yes.
Do you have your paperwork to be transporting the monkey?
There's no paperwork required if I'm just traveling through the state.
Yes, sir. You got to have paperwork with you to transport a monkey.
That's not true.
Okay. Where'd you pick the monkey up at?
He belongs to me.
Oh, okay. So you just took him with you from Florida?
I'm not going to answer any questions outside the scope of the stop.
Well, at this point, that is the scope of the stop, because now you're in unlawful possession of a monkey in the state of Georgia, and I'm fixing to get DNR to come out here. So you can either answer them to me or you can answer them to DNR. It don't make no difference to me.
Okay, you don't need a license for any type of permit for transport if you're going in and out of the state.
We'll see in just a second. Let me get a DNR ranger right here.
Okay.
You're not free to leave at this point. You're being detained.
Okay.
As you can see, Officer Justin Partain is lying and gaslighting Ray with the fiction that he was following too closely behind this semi that he wasn't even behind in the same lane. When the truth is that from the very beginning he knew that the monkey was in there, and he was always going to stop and harass him about the monkey. When he first walks up to Ray's vehicle, you can see him stop and start looking in the back window, looking to see if he sees the monkey. As he goes to walk back to his patrol car, he says something to the other officer there, like, yep, the monkey's there, just like we knew it would be.
Oh yeah, look in the back.
Then when Partain gets back inside his police car, guess what? He's got somebody on speakerphone who's like, did you stop him? And he's like, yeah, I stopped him.
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey in a dog cage.
Now, I wonder who that could be. Hey, I wonder if that could be Steven on the phone. It might be Steven.
He told me whenever I pulled him over that it's his monkey. He said that, I said, where's your documentation? He said, I don't need any documentation to transport a monkey because it's my monkey. Okay. All right, bye. Hey, I forgot to tell you this, and I don't know if it matters, but he is from South Carolina in a rental vehicle going south. So, all right, thank you, brother. All right, bye. Yeah, he does have to have a pass-through permit, and he is not allowed to stop for anything but gas and food.
He's got to have a permit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where's Al at?
I ain't no telling where he's at. I want to do that, though, because I done called Greg. He's a sergeant. I don't want to, you know.
Where Al's the captain now?
Yeah, he's a captain. But like I said, he's done gave me the answer, so I don't want to jump over him.
All of this harassment was over this monkey. These cops are just sure that it's illegal to have this monkey, but they just can't figure out what the hell the law is. They're calling their captains or lieutenants. They're apparently all just too dumb to just read the law or to Google it. As it turns out, it's perfectly legal to transport a wild animal through the state of Georgia. You don't need a permit for the transportation of wild animals through Georgia, where the animals remain in the state no more than 24 hours and are not sold or transferred while in the state of Georgia. Wow, that was really difficult. So they couldn't give him a ticket or arrest him for anything related to the monkey, though that wouldn't stop them from fabricating an obstruction arrest while investigating the non-crime of transporting the monkey. That is one of the go-to tricks of these interstate scam artists.
Yeah, just hang out for a second. because he's gonna flip out when I tell him he's got to open that so I can get a picture of that monkey. And it's either that or go to jail for obstruction.
Be afraid of.
Hey, real quick, so do you have a copy of your pass-through permit that you're supposed to have?
So the DNR told me that by Georgia law, I could just ask them for one and they would email it over, but I don't need it. They told me if you're in and out of the state within 24 hours, you don't need it.
No, so that's not true. Let me explain to you what I was just told by Sergeant Greg Wade with Georgia Department of Natural Resources, DNR.
Can you write his name now? So I just want to clarify with the law or whatever.
Yeah, hold on. He consulted with his lieutenant. All right. I don't know the lieutenant's name, but he consulted with a lieutenant. The lieutenant said that you are correct on part of that. You can only be in the state for 24 hours.
It's like 24 or 48
Hold
or
on,
something.
let me finish talking.
I called and did my due diligence.
I understand that. I'm just relaying to you what I was told, so let me do mine, okay? So you can only be in the state for 24 hours. You can only stop for gas and food.
I know how this, man.
And you have to have your
permit. You're
permit.
writing me a ticket just for asking questions.
Does that say ticket on it?
Oh, warning. Okay.
Exactly. I'm fuming
over this because this guy, I appreciate it.
But I didn't do this.
Problems with you guys.
I didn't do that.
This right here, now I gotta get his dash cam, and now I gotta go back to this court date, and it's literally because I was not trailing behind no one. I have a perfect driving record.
I understand that.
This is absolutely ridiculous that he chose to do. And the only thing is when an officer pulls me over and you guys are trained to start asking all these trick questions and stuff, I just say, I'm just gonna answer what it pertains to the stop. And then some officers get offended by that, but I just want to just answer the questions and keep it going. Like, I'm just traveling through.
Listen, you haven't offended me. You haven't offended me at all, you know, and I'm not trying to trick you by any means.
Yeah, and I apologize.
He's not trying to trick him. What? Do you see how these people are so devious, so incapable of telling the truth? They try to pretend like they're your friend, like they're interested in you, like they're interested in your monkey, or like they're pulling you over for some traffic-related reason instead of they think you have a monkey in your car. Look how this Officer Partain completely gaslit Ray that entire stop. Almost everything he said was gaslighting or a complete lie.
There was a yellow cab semi in front of you, and you were about 3 car lengths behind that semi. Is that a monkey?
Yes.
Do you have your paperwork to be transporting the monkey? Where'd you pick the monkey up at? Because now you're in unlawful possession of a monkey in the state of Georgia. Oh yeah, look in the back.
You gonna stop?
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey in a dog cage. Well, like I said, that's Dewey County. This is Turner County. That's complete 2 county. I can't be held accountable for what somebody else did. Okay.
You gonna stop?
Oh yeah, it's a show enough monkey in a dog cage. Now, as far as the permit, do you have a copy of that you can produce and show me?
What do you mean, like a permit?
Your pass-through permit to travel with a monkey, to have a monkey.
So they told me that I don't have to have one.
Whoever you spoke with is incorrect. You have to have a pass-through permit. I also need to get a picture of the monkey. So what kind is that? It's not a capuchin. It's a
African green.
African green.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pretty monkey. I'll tell you that. You had him long.
Since they're doing all this, I'm just gonna wait for them to call me.
That's fine. I was talking from my own knowledge. I like animals, so that's the only reason I was asking. I don't want you to get a bad impression on the state of Georgia that there's a miscommunication there, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, you do have to have one. Do you mind if I take a picture of him real quick?
Yeah, you could, if you're allowed to.
Yeah, can you open that for me? The back hatch?
You're gonna move the cage around and whatnot.
He's beautiful.
Make sure you don't stick your hand too close.
I'm not.
He'll grab for you.
Is he very old?
5 years old.
5 years? He's pretty. What's his name?
Tavo.
He's a beautiful monkey. What do you feed something like that? And I don't know. I'm not DNR.
Just a standard health food diet.
Standard health food diet? Like
same thing we eat.
Nuts and apples and stuff like that?
Yeah. Like I'm an actual qualified, like I used to work at primate sanctuaries and like, did all that. Yeah. Work with chimps and orangutans and all that, yeah.
You enjoy it?
Not really.
Is there any
You
specific
clean a lot of poop.
is there any specific certifications like you got to have to do stuff like that, or you just?
It just depends state by state.
If you anytime you're traveling through the state of Georgia, now I can't speak for other states.
Did he tell you a statute just so I could look it up? Do you remember?
He didn't. I mean, I can call it. I can call him back and try to get
Can you
one.
call him and ask him if he could call me?
But
and
yes.
just in regard to this stop, so you believe that you seen me too close driving past a truck?
Yes. All right. Now let me explain that to you real quick, okay? Because the other deputy, he might not have explained it very well. So let me explain it to you. Well, the problem is they're different. There's different interpretations of what that means, what following too close means. So basically, it's 1 car length per 10 miles an hour.
Okay.
So let's say if you're right here on this road and you're in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, you need to at least be 3.5 car lengths behind the vehicle in front of you. That just gives you adequate enough stopping distance.
So I'm gonna have to get his dash cam, Officer Taft.
You didn't get a ticket.
I know, but I
you
just
do what
want to
you
look.
wanna
I
do.
just want to look. So
All
he's Officer Taft with his office.
He's Sergeant Taft.
Sergeant
I'm
Sergeant Taft.
Lieutenant Partain.
Okay, so you didn't even
Yes, I did.
witness it yourself.
Yes, I did.
You were parked up here.
I did. Yes, I was. I was parked under the bridge right there, and there was a semi in front of you, a yellow cab semi.
So they didn't initiate a stop. He was just following behind coincidentally.
He
and
was
then
going
you
south
witnessed-
to come where I was,
And then you witnessed it.
and I seen you when I looked in the rearview mirror and seen him coming because he was fixing to pull up next to me. I seen you following a semi too close. See, look, see that silver car? And see that truck behind him?
Yeah.
See, they're following too close. Let me point out another one to you, and I'll show you.
Okay.
But see how that boat right there? See how close they are?
You're not supposed to be that close?
Nope, because that's not 7 car lengths.
Okay.
So it's a very, very, very wide distance.
Okay.
I just want to make sure
it
you got a
does.
clear understanding. That
I
way you
mean-
don't run into that problem again. 'Cause
Okay, yeah,
you
yeah.
run into it twice today. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you was clear on that so you didn't have that
So
problem.
and I know y'all don't make the laws or whatever.
We don't. We just enforce them. Like I said, it don't mean that you get a ticket. It just means we stop you and make you, aware of it.
Okay.
It happens, man. Hey, it's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
You be careful, okay?
So we have 2 officers who just happened to pull over Ray for the exact same thing, both of whom had dash cams, neither of which captured the actual alleged traffic violation.
Okay, well, I got you on camera right on the bumper of that car. Okay, but I was gonna give you a warning, but if you want, okay, well, I don't care what you believe. I got on camera that you were right too close. You got to give at least a couple of car lengths. You were less than a car length off the back of that tractor trailer.
How did this happen? Why did this happen? Here's my opinion. Officer number 1 was stationary when Ray drove by. At interstate highway speeds, there's no way he was able to observe the monkey in the back of his car. So what did he observe? He observed what type of vehicle it was, and he perhaps observed briefly the appearance of the person who was driving it. Remember the idiot officer in Texas I showed you, who thought he was some behavioral wizard?
So what I do is I talk to people and I do behavioral analysis type stuff.
Who knows actually what was in the first officer's mind? Might have been racial profiling, might have been something else. Then he gets up and he pulls next to him, and that's when he sees the monkey. Clearly they have nothing better to do than to investigate monkey crime along the interstate. But it wasn't until Ray asserted his right to remain silent and not answer questions about the monkey that Officer Tackleberry got his little authoritarian feelings hurt.
But I was gonna give you a warning, but if you want, okay, well, I don't care what you believe.
And demonstrated for all of us exactly what police officers can do when they get their feelings hurt. They're all buddies, and they can bring their buddies in the thin blue line to help with their mission to retaliate. And these guys were busted red-handed doing that here, thus demonstrating that they are wholly untrustworthy. They have violated their oaths. They have violated the trust that society has placed in them. Why did I spend so much time on this video? Because these people are still out there. How many of you will be driving down I-75 through Georgia, or your family members? They're waiting, and who knows what reason they have to pull you over. And if you assert your constitutional rights, you don't answer questions even though you don't have to. They retaliate against you. They make stuff up. Not only that, but they call their friends down the road and have them do the same thing just to troll you. These guys not only need to be fired, they need to be prosecuted. They need to be put in prison and an example made out of them. They are the worst of the worst. So I laid it all out there for you. If you want to help, share this video. Make sure everyone sees what happens, because this charge is still pending against Ray. They're going after him for following too closely, which you see is a lie, a fiction. This is what the thin blue line does. It circles the wagons. It doesn't do the right thing. It doesn't protect the innocent civilian. It protects police officers. And they've been caught red-handed, and accountability needs to happen. So join me on my mission to hold police officers and other government officials and employees accountable and uphold our constitutional rights. You can follow me here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com, because our rights don't end where your fear begins, or anyone's fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.